Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am telling you a story about an orphan boy, so let's start. The eighth story, Oliver's experience at court. Oliver was led up by the back way to the metropolitan court. Here they met a stout man with whiskers on his face, swallowing a bunch of keys. What's the matter now? Said the man carelessly. Your young pickpocket, replied the policeman. Must go before the magistrate now, sir, replied the man. Oliver was led into a stone cell. Here he was searched and nothing being found upon him, locked up. It was most intolerably dirty. The old gentleman looked almost as rueful as Oliver when the key grated in the lock. There is something in that boy's face, said the old gentleman to himself as he walked slowly away. Something that touches and stirs me. Can he be innocent? He looked like, exclaimed the old gentleman, halting very abruptly and starting up into the sky. Bless my soul, where have I been something like that all before? After musing for some minutes, the old gentleman retired into a corner and buried himself again in the pages of the book. After a while, he was requested to come into the office and ushered into the imposing presence of the renowned Mr. Fang. Oliver was already present, trembling at the fullness of the scene. Mr. Fang was a lean, long-backed, stiff-necked, middle-sized man with thinning hair. His face was stern and much flushed. Fang instructed the policeman to relate the entire incident. The policeman, with lots of humility, related how he had taken the charge, how he had searched Oliver and found nothing on his person, and how that was all he knew about it. Are there any witness? Inquired Mr. Fang. None, your worship, replied the policeman. Mr. Fang sat silently for some minutes and then told the prosecutor to give evidence. With many interruptions and repeated insults, Mr. Brownlow stated his case and requested Fang to deal as leniently with Oliver as justice would allow. He has been hurt already, said the old gentleman in conclusion, and I fear, he added, with great energy looking towards the bar, I really fear that he is ill. Oh yes, I dare say, said Mr. Fang with a sneer. Come, none of your tricks here. You young vagabond, they won't do. What's your name? Oliver tried to reply, but his tongue failed him. He was deathly pale and felt dizzy. Officer, what's his name? The officer bent over Oliver, but finding him really incapable of understanding the question, he made a guess. He says his name Tom White, your worship. Where does he lie? Where he can, your worship, replied the officer, again pretending to receive Oliver's answer. He has any parents? Inquired Mr. Fang. He says they died in his infancy, your worship, replied the officer. Oliver raised his head and begged for a draught of water. I think he really is ill, your worship, remonstrated the officer. Take care of him, officer, said the old gentleman. He will fall down. Stand up, officer, cried Fang. Let him, if he likes. Officer Oliver fell to the floor in a fainting fit. The men and the officer looked at each other, but no one dared to stir. I knew he was shamming, said Fang. Let him lie there. He will soon be tired of that. How do you purpose to deal with the case, sir? Summarily, replied Mr. Fang. He stands committed for 3 months of hard labor, of course. Clear the office. The door was opened suddenly, and an elderly man of decent but poor appearance rushed into the office. Stop, stop, don't take him away. What is this? Who is this? Turn this man out. Clear office, cried Mr. Fang. Let me speak, cried the man. I saw it all. I keep the bookstall. I demand to be shown. Mr. Fang, you must hear me. You must not refuse, sir, sneered the man. Growled Mr. Fang with a very ill grace. Now, man, what have you got to say? And then the bookstall keeper narrated the whole incident, how the two other boys had committed the crime and how Oliver was innocent. A nice person to prefer a charge against a poor boy, said Fang, with a comical effort to look humane. Let this be a lesson to you, my man, or the law will overtake you yet. The boy is discharged. Clear this office. When Mr. Brownlow reached the yard, he saw little Oliver Twist lying on his back on the pavement, with his shirt unbuttoned, sweating profusely, his face a deathly white and a cold tremble confusing his whole frame. Poor boy, said Mr. Brownlow, bending over him. A coach was hailed. Oliver was carefully laid on the seat and the old gentleman got in. May I accompany you? Said the bookstall keeper, looking in. Bless me. Yes, my dear sir, said Mr. Brownlow quickly. I forgot you, dear. I have this unhappy bookstall. Jump in, poor fellow. There's no time to lose.